for every player before they actually do.
Yeah, and
before Giannis won it last year.
Yeah. Same thing.
It's the same for every player.
Only player.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Phaithful Phanatics show. It's been a minute, but here we are. We are back for the rest of the summer, every Monday going forward, live at 5 p.m., streaming to you guys live through DSM Media's Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook channel. So if you're new to the channel, head on over to @DSM_media on Twitter, hit that follow button, and then click the link tree in our bio to take you to every social media platform we are available on. If you guys want to comment and get involved in the show like so, head on over to our Facebook or YouTube channel to get involved. Gint, Kata, what is going on?
What's up?
How are we doing? Dylan's
Listen.
about 6 shades tanner since the last time we saw him, huh? But God is not on the balcony of $1 million mansion. But here we go.
That's true. I don't know what is worse, but I'm fascinated by Kata's attire today.
Polo, yeah.
You like the boat shirt?
It's
like sailboats.
It's the button up with the Sixers hat that gets me.
Yeah, man.
Are those books? Are those books or movies behind you, by the way?
Oh, they're my girlfriend's. Don't worry about it. I'm not smart.
Well, if they were movies, it wouldn't matter.
I have Gritty up there. That's
wrong side. There you go. All right, but on today's show, kind of a busy show, I guess. Heavy Phillies loaded, heavy MLB loaded. As Kata said, it is to him, it's the best sporting. Would you call it the best event in all of sports?
Yeah, an all-star game.
An all-star type event.
Yeah, I know you're a dunk contest guy.
No, I'm not. I'm a three-point contest. Three-point contest guy,
okay.
And I used to be a big. Remember the skills challenge they used to do with one WNBA player, one current NBA player?
That was pretty cool.
Old NBA, but yeah, Chris Bosh won that like 4 years in a row. I was like a huge fan.
There you go. You think, but we're going to talk about the home run derby. Got a couple bets that I've placed. Kata's getting involved, Gint's getting involved. So we'll look through all the types of things you can do on DraftKings, FanDuel, wherever you put your money at. Also, the Phillies would get the 17th overall pick last night and take a former MLB player's son. Kata's going to break that down to start the show, and then we'll get into the James Harden article at the end. But, Kata, before we get started, tell us a little bit about Justin Crawford, the 18-year-old outfielder from Bishop Gorman High School, the Vegas kid again. The Titans love him. So, tell us a little bit about the kid.
So, obviously, he's super raw because he's 18 years old. He's 6'3", 170 pounds. Just a pure athlete. He's super fast. If you look at Carl Crawford and his father, they're like spitting images of each other, except Justin's a little bit taller. So the bat's going to come along, but the one thing that Justin really has is the defense. And we've seen the center field play this year. It's been terrible. Justin Crawford could probably play a very good defensive center field right now, and he'd be fine. The bat's going to lag along a little bit just because he's got to get stronger, but I'm not too worried about it. He's got the bloodline there, and he seems like he's a very willing to learn kid. So we'll see what happens with it. Don't like that they drafted another high schooler, but we'll see how it goes.
So, real quick, if he's anything like his father, I'm in. Anything like his father.
Absolutely.
I'm only 24, and it made me feel old when he said that he was too young to remember the Phillies-Rays World Series in 2008. Yeah. Like we're young, but like that's young. Like it feels like, and he just got drafted by the Philadelphia Phillies. Last question for you regarding the kid. Well, 2 questions actually. Is the power a concern as of, well, he's only 18 and like you said, he's extremely raw, but that's one thing I did see was that the power isn't there right now. And then B, what the hell is the timeline? Because we're talking about center field now, and obviously, you're talking about a kid that is just graduating high school a month ago. So he's not going to be up for quite some time. What's the timeline like for him?
I'd expect probably 4 to 5 years
Yeah.
if he's up by 22, 23, which that's what's
Yeah.
so unfortunate about drafting high school players. It takes a while. By the time he's up here, Harper's going to be older. Schwarber and Castellanos
I'm
going
going to
to be
be
gone by
almost
that
30.
point. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. So that's the one thing about drafting high school kids is that it takes a while to develop. But if they can develop him, he's going to be if he can develop that power a little bit, which being 6'3", he's got a chance where, I mean, he grows into his body a little bit. He could have a little bit of pop. But his dad took a while to develop the pop too, so we'll see. But
Yep.
if he's just a defensive center fielder, which he can be right now, it's a good signing. That's good. It's a good pick because they need somebody who can just fly out there.
it's always a good sign to see Gint with a smile on his face as well. But
Yeah.
I got another
He
for
has
you,
no
dude.
idea what's happening.
I'm not gonna come out here and tell you like I know about Justin Crawford. The
The
only thing I'll say
18-year-old.
is, yeah, the only thing I'll tell you is that if he's anything like his pops, I'm cool with the pick. Let's
Yep.
hope it doesn't take 6 or 7 years to get him up here. If I can get him by the time he's 21, I'm in. But again, the timeline, like that's what's so difficult about those types of moves. But we'll see. But talking about now, and this is what I want to get into. This is the fun part because the Phillies, we've talked about them for over the last couple of shows. Obviously, when you get to this point in the summer, it's one of the only things that we get to discuss a lot here on DSM Media. But the Titans were 21 and 29. Is that correct? On June 1st, they now sit here entering the All-Star break at 49 and 43. The turnaround that this team has had, and I'm not going to get into the Joe Girardi firing and Rob Thompson, et cetera, but the turnaround they've had while also losing the MVP, the reigning MVP, and a guy that was looking to go back-to-back MVP and their leader in Bryce Harper, losing one of their more consistent hitters and their everyday second baseman in Gene Segura, losing 2 of their 5 starting pitchers, still missing guys in the bullpen. Throughout all of this team is now 6 games above 500, leading in that final third wildcard spot heading into the break, and just had one of their more impressive series of the season. And here's why. It sounds really stupid because it's Miami Marlins, right? And I don't want to get into the whole cliche of, well, the Marlins always give us trouble. Stop that. Good teams don't have that problem. Good teams don't talk about that. My thing is, though, previous Phillies teams, last year's Phillies teams, the May Phillies of this season, after losing 4 straight with their backs up against the wall, they had a 2-game lead in the wild card spot. Now they were a game and a half out of a wild card spot behind St. Louis. They would have tried to cruise to All-Star break. They would have lost 2 of 3 in Miami, et cetera, et cetera. Did I expect them to win the series? Yeah. Did I expect them to sweep? No, I did not. I thought they'd go 2-1. Did I expect them to hold the Miami Marlins to 1 run in the entire series? No, I did not. Every win was super impressive in itself. You had the Sandy Alcantara start on, what was that, Friday night, right? Against Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson goes toe-to-toe with the guy leading for the NL Cy Young at the moment, and the Phillies find a way to scrap to a win late in the game in the 7th or 8th inning and come from behind with timely hitting. Then the next day they come out with the bats on fire. 10 runs on 15 hits, shut them out 10-0. And then yesterday, another impressive, that was a bullpen game, by the way. And then you come out yesterday with Nola looking like in himself a Cy Young candidate with that in that start, and closing the door on the Marlins 4-0. Every win was impressive, and the fact they were able to sweep a team that normally gives them fits on the road heading into the All-Star break is something I don't think they would have done in years past. So thoughts on this series, Gint, and then kind of where's your head at with this team right now? Because I know we've all seen this movie kind of before when they rope us in and they throw us back, and they rope us in and they throw us back. But something about it feels different. The way they've been able to survive without Bryce Harper, and not just survive, win series without Bryce Harper is really impressive.
Yeah, I think the last time us 3 chopped it up was right before they played St. Louis the first time. And I'm pretty sure we all took a poll, like what we thought the record was going to be. And we talked about how like this could get bad quick is like what we said. Like You were
Yeah.
playing St. Louis, and I think they went
Then
to
Atlanta.
Washington after. Oh, Atlanta? Maybe it was Atlanta, and then Seattle or St. Louis again. And I was
Yeah.
like, this could really get bad quick. They could be down and out within the next 10 games. And I'm pretty sure they finished like I just did it. I'm pretty sure I just thought it was 6-4 in that 10-game stretch. And talking about giving a team life that you thought could be down and out is just very, very important in a baseball season. A season that's always a roller coaster. And talk about the May Phillies. The May Phillies probably go 3-7 in that stand, as opposed to 6-4. And they are afloat, and they're, like you said, missing Bryce. And right now, I think if the season ended today, they make the playoffs, right? So
Yeah, they're currently in that third wild card spot above
yeah,
the
so
Cardinals.
there's little victories to take out of the whole situation. And obviously, like I said, it's a cliche, but you sweep the Marlins, it's something the last how many seasons would never have happened. So
No.
giving a team confidence that shouldn't have it is something dangerous in all sports. And hopefully you start to get some guys back. Guys start to play better, aka Nick Castellanos. And next thing you know, maybe they really can make this playoff push, and maybe we will see postseason baseball. But I think we're all tentative to get our hopes up.
Yeah.
Because every time you get your hopes up in this city, they come crashing down. So we'll see. Obviously, second half is about to come up, or I guess not consider the second half in baseball, but you know what I mean.
I'm interested to see what Mr. Polo has to say because I have no idea. He's either going to be very optimistic or he's going to be, it was nice, but still not a playoff team. So let's hear it.
These assholes are roping me back in again. There's just something different. I swear, there's just something different about this team. It was during the 10-0 game. I was about to put in the chat. I'm like, man, Schwarber is really struggling again. This is not going to be good. 2 pitches later, ropes the ball over the right field line, slumps over. It's just, and it feels like that's the whole way the team has been this whole year once Thompson took over. They're sinking a little bit, and then they shoot back up. And that's how they feel right now. They have a lot of energy. And exactly, these young guys are really starting to play. Bryson Stott's starting to hit. Vierling's starting to play well. Bohm is really taking over right now. So it's exciting there. Now, are they going to make the playoffs? Who knows? Who knows? I hope they do, but I don't know.
So speaking on that, Bryson Stott did come alive a little bit in this Miami series, hit for a little more pop. Vierling's been the most consistent thing in center field that they have. Yeah, he did exactly. He did hit in Toronto. Vierling's been the most consistent thing they have in center field. I don't want to see Odubel Herrera back out there for another second. And I hate to give up on someone so young already. But when you're trying to win games, Mickey Moniak cannot be playing right now. Mickey Moniak has to give Matt Vierling some rest. That's right. Actually, he is. Yes, he is down. My bad. So, dude, a guy that shouldn't even be on the ball club. I said this the other day. Munoz is not an MLB type of player, and he roast one 500 feet the other day. Like something is different, and that's my whole takeaway from this sweep and heading into the All-Star break is. I think they I've never been this confident in the last how many years has it been since the year Bryce got here. I guess we were hoping for playoffs, but the rest of the roster was pretty bleh. I guess the year they brought JT in, or was that the same year?
Last year you were pretty confident.
Yeah, I was, but that's what. But I was confident in August.
There's levels,
and then yeah, I've never been confident at the All-Star break, and I'm confident in this team at the All-Star break. Normally they throw me back out around this time, and I'm like, are they buyers? Are they sellers? Like Dombrowski has to be hammering the phones over this 3-day stretch that they're off because, again, I don't think you can wait until August 2nd. They have, I think, 3 to 4 more series before August 2nd hits. Can they've proven they can win games and win series as is, but I would really like some help in that starting rotation right now. I'd really like an everyday center fielder, a la Andrew Benintendi, if they can get their hands on him. Another guy that can't go to Toronto, but guess what? I doubt the Fightins are seeing Toronto in the World Series, so bring it on. So I think Dombrowski has to be busy right now, but I mean, I'm looking throughout the NL, and seriously, guys, like I don't want to get overconfident, but I'm looking at the rest of these
Just
teams,
say
and
it.
it's who
Say what you're gonna say.
who would I have them losing to is what's going through my mind.
That's the line.
I've
there.
changed my mind. The
There it
Phillies
is.
are not making the
Who can beat
playoffs.
this roster?
No, I'm talking about that. I'm just looking like our division doesn't scare me. Like I know the Mets are on fire. They don't strike fear in me. They're the Mets. The Braves are hot, but I think they can still beat the Braves, right? The Dodgers are no competition. Like we're not. No, forget the Dodgers. They've already proven they can beat the Padres. The Giants, get out of my face. The Cardinals, we washed St. Louis. Get out of my face. The Brewers, they've won the season series over the Brewers. Come on, like when Bryce is back, dude, it's a wrap.
Yeah, there's really no in between with you, dude. It's like
Me?
it's a wrap or wrap it up.
They win the championship.
There's
Yeah.
nothing in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it in between.
I don't see he goes, yeah, I'll beat them and I'll sweep them. Gentlemen sweep there.
They've been very good against the good teams in the National League this year. They won the season series over the Dodgers, so miss me with how scary they are. I'm only kidding, but
I can't do this with this dude.
I don't know why I'm so confident. They like every day I'm excited to watch Phillies baseball. It doesn't seem real. But
It's because you're on the beach most of the time, so
yeah.
excited to watch something on the beach.
Maybe that's the problem.
And
I'm
what
just
beach
coming
is it,
off of.
though? Tell them what beach it is.
Well, it was Ocean City. I was in Wildwood for a short time, but it was Ocean City.
Wildwood, New Jersey, where Americans are made.
All right, so yeah, let's get into that. Bring. Let me reel it back in. I just said the Phillies are winning the World Series. Chase said I feel like they should definitely target starting pitching. So, Kato, what is the biggest need at the deadline? Because obviously this team is not going to look the same, exactly the same come August 2nd. If you have to imagine if they were buyers last year, they were buyers the year before that. They're definitely buyers this year. And Dombrowski, last year, when did Dombrowski come in last season? It was kind of right a little before the deadline. He wasn't here for the full year. So he really didn't have, it wasn't his roster. He didn't have a full grasp of, confidence in going into the season. So this is his roster. He's always busy. He's always trying to, push towards a championship. So you have to figure they're going to make some moves, or a bigger move at the deadline. What's the biggest need? Is it starting pitching? Because, Rangers back now, which definitely gives them a boost. Who knows what's going on with Zach Eflin? You cannot have, I know how good the bullpen has been this last month plus. You cannot have bullpen games every 5 games down the stretch, trying to make the playoffs. Is it center field? Is it, you have Matt Vierling play second, shortstop, and third base every 3 days? Is it a middle infielder somewhere until what's the biggest need that they have right now?
It's more than one. I mean, they have to go out and make a couple moves. And I don't think that making that major home run trade for a guy like Castillo, as he was saying before, or Montez, I don't think that makes the most sense. I think they need to make the smaller moves. Bring in another guy like Kyle Gibson. That was a trade where you didn't have to give up too much. You gave up a failing prospect for Kyle Gibson. You got another prospect back in that deal. Those kind of moves are what they need to do. Get another reliever in here, maybe. I like the way Sir Anthony Dominguez has been closing. I know he struggled a little bit, but he's fine there. So I'm not really too worried about closer. Maybe you find a center fielder. Now that Johan Camargo is back, you're not really going to be looking for a second baseman or shortstop because he can just fill in there. So there's not really too much that they could do, but just go and acquire another bat, like a Soler type, like the Braves did last year. There's always guys out there you can just give up nothing for and wind up getting somebody.
I agree. The point is, though, is it's going to have to be a center fielder specifically. Schwarber is not coming out of left field. And if Castellanos isn't DHing, he's playing right field. And more so, he's playing right field because you have Derek Hall in the DH spot because he can't play first base with Reese. So center field is really the only position you can look to upgrade right now in the outfield. And that's taking Matt Vierling out of the lineup, which for someone like Andrew Benintendi, I'm 110%
Benintendi can't.
in for.
Benintendi can't play center field. He failed there. He failed there in Boston, and people keep bringing him up.
What's he play right
but they
now
don't-
in Kansas City?
He's a left fielder.
I'm putting him.
Michael
at center.
Taylor is.
I'll run the outfield of Kyle Schwarber, Benintendi, and Castellanos out there every night.
They need a defensive center fielder if they go after a center fielder. Yeah, which Matt Vierling is fine defensively in center field. Like he's more than capable out there. But if they want to get another bat, it's going to be interesting because that defense.
Is this Michael A. Taylor?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
Thoughts
he could
on
work, but I don't think he's much better than Vierling. Let Vierling sit out there and play for a little bit. You keep yanking him out of the lineup every 2 days, he can't get in a groove.
Dude, total side note. It's Phillies related. They drafted a guy today named Mavis. How do you?
Go ahead, get that out. Go ahead.
His first name's Mavis.
Which round?
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm reading. I haven't gone on Twitter in like probably a week. Especially, I opened the app the one day and said LeBron was playing in the Drew League. I deleted it for a day. I was like, this is not happening. Mavis Graves in the 6th round.
Yeah.
6'6". Oh my god,
It's a big kid.
He's how big?
he's starting tomorrow.
6'6", 205.
He's starting tomorrow.
He's like 17.
Starting at power forward.
17, 18 years old.
Holy smokes! Sorry, that was still a side note. But
No,
I'm
you're
all
good.
on the starting pitcher acquisition, in my opinion. But continue with the Matt Vierling stand.
Yeah, it is. You are the Matt Vierling stand. But like I know I'm sitting here confident in this team that they'll be a playoff team. I'm joking about who they're going to be in the playoffs, but I just look at the roster as a whole or the lineup as a whole, and I don't know if Matt Vierling as your starting center fielder is postseason run worthy. Is that
I
correct?
don't think they're
Unless
in a
he's the
position
only
right
hole.
now.
Like, what's up?
That's part of your problem is like you're not going to win with Bryson Stott at shortstop right now. You're not going to win with Didi Gregorius out there right now. Until Gene and Bryce really come back and are 100%,
Oh, yeah.
you're not.
Oh, well, I'm counting on that.
Even then, I don't know if they're going to do damage in the playoffs unless you really make a serious move, which I don't think Benintendi's that type of guy. Like, unless you go after like Cedric Mullins or somehow get Soto. That's not happening. But if you somehow get Soto, then you can make a major run. But you can't get it.
Are the Nats stupid? Like,
I
I saw everybody freaking out that he turned down the money because it's like $500 million.
It's because
they're paying him. Dude, they're paying him under 30 per year AAV, and that's less than like 17 dudes in the MLB that I read a list of. They'd have him at like or top 20. He wasn't even the top 15 or 20th highest paid per year. What goes through your head? That's the offer you make to him. And then what are they going to do? I keep seeing the Mets as the one team. Okay, great. You're going to trade him within the division. You already lost Bryce in the division, and now you're going to trade Juan Soto within your own division. Do you want to compete for the next 15 years or no?
He ain't going there. He ain't going there.
Where's he going? The other New York team? Because they need that. They need another superstar in the outfield. That's what they need. Do me a favor. Send him to Arizona or something.
64-28.
It's ridiculous.
He's not going to get traded for as much as people think, just because that.
You think he's going to get traded?
He's definitely going to American League somewhere. He's not staying anywhere near the Nationals.
Who gets traded for more, Juan Soto or Kevin Durant?
Oh, Juan Soto, easily. Juan Soto is also 24, 25 years old. Like Kevin Durant is an old man at this point.
I disagree.
No,
go ahead. Really?
Get in there.
Dude, do you see some of the trade packages for some of these guys in the NBA?
Yeah, but he's not. Yeah, but apparently anything the Nets are asking for, they're not getting.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So the asking price for Kevin Durant to Minnesota was Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and 4 first-round picks.
Right,
so
they're sniffing a lot of glue.
I get that, but Rudy Gobert was what?
Well, that's like Robert Covington getting 3 firsts. Like that's the trade for Robert.
Kevin Durant's one of the 5 best players on the planet, with probably at least 5 more years of being in the top 10 in the NBA.
What's Soto's right there in baseball.
What's Soto going to get traded for? But it's tough to value that because like MLB prospects.
Yeah,
there's no
prospects is
prospects in
so-
basketball.
yeah.
You can't trade, so it's really hard to gauge
Yeah.
how that would be. Because trading for 3 rotational players in the NBA is whoa, that's really
Yeah.
really good. But then trading your 3 best minor leaguers, or I guess 2 of your best minor leaguers, and an impact player now would be whoa, and however many picks you can trade in the MLB. I feel like I've never. Go ahead.
Talent-wise, in their sports, they're very close. The only difference is Juan Soto is 23 years old, and KD is
it makes
older
sense.
with
And there's just
a
so
lot
much
of
more.
injuries.
Again, so many more assets you can trade in baseball than there is basketball. But
Yeah.
if you made it a weighted, what team would be offloading more talent? I don't know how it would be the NBA, just because
I think it would be
Right.
more with
smaller.
baseball just because there's more players.
That's what I'm saying.
period.
How
They
many
could give
players
up
are in
12
baseball?
players. They could give up
Right.
12 players in a trade easily. And
Could you imagine, dude?
I
To get to the airport, it's literally half a bus. Of
yeah.
What are you guys here for? We're the Juan Soto group.
They pull
Where
up to
did
the
the-
airport. We're the guys they traded Juan Soto for.
We're heading to DC. Can you get us there?
Yeah, that's
Jesus. Yeah, I probably agree that it's difficult to figure out. I think Soto's going to bring more of a haul in terms of how much comes back for him, whereas you're not going to know the talent evaluation for some time because anything they're going to get back for him is going to be like we're talking about these 18, 19, 20-year-old kids that are coming up through the system. Whereas if Kevin Durant gets moved, yeah, he's going to get moved for a lot of picks, but he's also probably going to bring back a couple
Star
premier
level
pieces.
player.
yeah.
Yeah.
In 6 years, you could be
Which
like,
that
oh,
won't
right,
happen in the
Juan
MLB.
Soto
Right.
traded
And then
Juan
exactly.
Soto
And then
traded
us,
That's
the
not
NBA
happening,
is much
right?
more marketable and you see these guys on TV and the pros, people know who they are. Whereas I couldn't tell you who the Yankees could move for Juan Soto or the Mets could. I cannot tell you a single name that they could move. And I'm pretty sure the Yankees have probably 2 of the top 10 prospects, top 15 prospects, if I had to guess. Right. And
The
I don't know
Yankees
their
could make
names.
the trade. There's only a few teams that can actually legitimately try to make this trade. So the Mets, the Yankees, the Dodgers, and I'm sure there's another team out there. With the
Since we're
same
talking
arm stuff.
about what's going to be former Nationals, and I don't want to get too far ahead because, like I said, I am ready for a postseason run. But did you guys see the article about Trey Turner wanting to come to Philly this offseason?
I don't buy it.
Don't buy it because
No.
it's a
Don't
real
buy it.
article. All
I'm
right.
sure it's a real article.
Everybody
puts out articles.
They want to come here.
I
Yeah.
mean, give me Trey Turner. But
You
anyway,
remember when LeBron wanted to come here? He's taking his kid to
So-
Malvern Prep.
yeah. Speaking of Juan Soto, let's get into the home run derby tonight because it's going to be some fun. Well, I mean, when's the last time we had a Philly in the home run derby? Was it Howard?
Hoskins.
Oh, that's right.
He got
Reese
beat
was
out
in
by
it.
You always
Schwarber.
trade
He got
Reese
beat out
off.
by Schwarber.
That's right. I forgot about that. Was that what you say?
So the Phillies trade Reese Hoskins. You know Mark, obviously, right? Mark Henry.
Yeah.
I send him every single tweet that pops up my timeline.
He
So-
hates it, bro.
Oh,
He'll
does
call
he?
you a moron to your face.
No, he just
He-
blocks him now. He said he's done arguing, so he just blocks everyone.
He will literally just be like, "You're stupid."
So I
Like,
literally just send him every single person that brings up Reese Hoskins. I just send it to him
he
block
might be.
them all.
He's more of a Reese Hoskins stan
than anyone.
than
in the world.
than
Then Reese
Kata
Hoskins
is
is
a
bad.
Matt Vierling or Furkan Korkmaz stan.
Furkan's the MVP.
Right. But let's get into the home run derby tonight. Kata, any bets you got going?
So I got the ultimate bet I have is I bet on Alonso again because there's absolutely he's just a beast. Like he was built for the home run derby.
Get a load of this dude.
It's like,
And then I
or
put
people
I
are
put a
keeping
bet
it.
on I put a bullshit bet on Pujols because he was like plus 2,200. I'm like, well, maybe they do the legacy bullshit. I'm like, why not?
They juice the balls for him, like give him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that you said that,
They
I'll
give
put-
Schwarber the dullest balls they have.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah, I have a few. I'm probably not done yet. I'm going to end up blowing through all my winnings this weekend on the home run derby, which is really stupid. But I put Schwarber for the win just for fun. I have Schwarber to hit the most home runs. I'm an idiot because I meant to put in the first round, and I went the whole derby. So that was mistake number one. But then I think it's at plus 190 now. But if you're on DraftKings, Acuna versus Pete Alonso, round 1. Player to hit the longest home run. Acuna was the heavy favorite. Alonso, I got at plus 200. I mean, come on.
I like it.
What are you looking at, Gin?
I was just reading my bets. I took longest home run is going to be over 491.5.
Okay.
I took Alonso, Soto, and Schwarber all to each win in the first round, plus 600.
Right. See, that's my problem. I'm on DK, so I can't parlay the rounds. Only FanDuel's doing that.
That was an odds boost on FanDuel.
Yeah. It's annoying. Yeah. You can parlay the round winners.
You bet on DraftKings. Like there's wait, that sponsor thing.
No.
I just shit talking a sponsor you have right now.
No, I just always have. And FanDuel like gave me issues with verifying my ID, so it makes zero sense. I can't play in Jersey where I live, but if I go over in PA, it goes in.
Same thing with me.
Make it make sense, bro. But
that's why I use DraftKings because I can't use FanDuel in Jersey.
Yeah,
stupid as fuck.
Who did you guys pick an outright winner or no?
I went Schwarber for fun. I'll probably sprinkle someone else. Who you doing? What are you gonna do, Gant? Like Corey Seager?
I'm waiting to make my pick, but I wouldn't just pick. Everyone's just like, Schwarber. It's not gonna happen. Good things like that don't happen. Good things like that don't happen.
Because bad things happen in Philadelphia.
Thank you. Exactly. Can we talk about this for a second? Sidebar sponsorship.
Oh,
opportunity.
I'm coming by you next Thursday to grab it, or this Thursday. I'm sorry.
Wait, where is it?
It releases in Langhorne this Thursday.
What?
Oh yeah.
Langhorne?
I live in Langhorne, and my address is Langhorne. I'm just outing myself to anyone watching this. I live in Langhorne. If you want something, hit me up because I'm buying all of them.
Sure Tea will release this Thursday, July 21st, at the grand opening of Wawa's newest beer store in Langhorne, PA, and at select Wawa locations in Pennsylvania.
Oh, I know where it is, yo. That thing is right around the corner from my crib.
Yeah, so guess what you're going to do? Your boy's going to Venmo you, and you're going to grab.
Yo, good luck. And these things are going to be sold at non-retail value when I buy them all. No.
You're not doing that to me.
Can you send me that article, please? And then we can get back. I just
screenshot it to you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Back on track.
New Jersey, PA, and Delaware distribution kicks off next Monday, July 25th. Is it odd that they're releasing it late July as a summer drink?
Well, I'm going down the shore.
Yeah. You're so beat. Yo.
I might have to cancel vacation.
There's no way that drink flops either.
Bro, I only got 37 miles. I'll make that. I got it.
37 miles. What are you talking? Close to an hour ride?
No, it's 33 miles, 37 minutes.
Thursday the 21st. I'm good. Yeah, I got you guys. What do you guys want? Just send my orders. Anyone watching, send your orders my way. They will not be
sold. What's it coming out in? That's what I'm questioning. Is it coming out in 4-packs, 6-packs?
I'll let you know. I'll be able to do it for you. I'll pick your pack. You tell me how many you want.
You know you're going to go in and try to buy just cases on cases, and they're going to be like, yeah, 1 4-pack.
It's a limit of 4, yeah.
It's going to be going in and out to his car. By the way, we're so off track here. That is the dumbest law or rule ever put in place.
Last night, I got stuck behind it last night. Yo, I was buying 1 12-pack in a ShopRite. Dude, the person in front of me was buying 13, and they had to do 13 different transactions.
It's ridiculous.
I was like, buddy, there's a beer store next door. Dude, there's a beer store next door.
Wait, but don't you have to
exit
move
the
it?
Store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have what? So I can buy a 12-pack. I can walk it to my car. The same person that rung me up can watch me walk back in, grab another, and ring me back up for another, but I cannot purchase them at the same time. Make it make sense. Also, I have a beef with a specific Citizens Bank Park worker. Well, that's a story for another time.
That guy in that parking lot that one day.
No. Someone in the building You know, they're like they're all old white dudes that work there too. Where they wear the blue shirts with the
Yeah, they think they're
lanyards, right?
so cool.
Oh, dude, one of them. I'm with Becca at a game. I don't know, 2-3 weeks. No, more than that. Probably a month ago. Got 2 beers. Both of us got carded per usual when you're buying the beers, right? Walking down the concourse, I'm seeing this dude. He's eyeing me up, right? But like, he's walking in my path, so I'm coming this way. He's walking this way, but I can see him looking at me. And as we're walking up towards him, he says, "Excuse me." And I'm thinking, he's going to be like, "Would you guys like to sign up for this today or like do something like that?" Right? I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "You happen to have ID on you?" To me, not to the 22-year-old girl who could, doesn't look. If she looks 21, what do I look like, bud? So he only cards me. And then, dude, he's not just taking my ID. Again, he's putting this thing through the wood chipper. He's bending it. He's staring at it. He takes out this pen with a light on the end of it and examines it. So I start laughing at him, right? Not like open, not like loud, but I'm like chuckling at this dude. And he's just picking up. So now he's going like this. And he's just taking longer with my ID, right? And he gives it back and goes, "You have a great night." "You too, boss. Like, thank you for taking 5 minutes out of my night to make sure that I was of age. Thank you for that." So whoever you are that works at Citizens Bank Park,
I've never been carded.
Hold that one right there, okay? What'd you say?
I've never been carded at CBP.
Yeah, well, I've seen you black out at TBP, so that was a story for another time. But no idea how that happened. All right, let's move on from the Phillies and wrap up this episode with some James Harden talk, because an article comes out today with Chris Haynes from Yahoo Sports, and I'm just going to read some of the quotes that came out in his article. So, of course, obviously, as we know, James Harden has not signed his deal yet with the Philadelphia 76ers, but there is no worry or skepticism that if he's returning. No, the superstar is coming back. Yes, I still call him a superstar at a $15 million, around a $15 million discount. First quote of the article: "I had conversations with Daryl, and it was explained how we could get better and what the market value was for certain players. I told Daryl to improve the roster, sign who we need to sign, and give me whatever is left over. This is how bad I want to win. I want to compete for a championship. That's all that matters to me at this stage. I'm willing to take less to put us in position to accomplish that." Obviously, as we know, the Sixers go out and bring in PJ Tucker and Daniel House after trading for DeAnthony Melton on draft night. Harden goes on to say, "I think we have a much deeper team. That's something we wanted to address. If you look at our team now, we're positioned to go a lot further. I like how we stack up with the rest of the top teams." Harden also hears what people had to say nationally and in Philadelphia about his play last year after he averaged 21 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 10.5 assists. "I don't really listen to what people say." You do, but I wasn't right last season, and I still averaged almost a triple-double. If anybody else had those numbers, we'd be talking about them getting the max. People were used to seeing me average 40 to 30 points, so they viewed it as a down year. I was in Philadelphia for a couple months, and I had to learn on the fly. That's just what it was. I'm in a good space physically and mentally right now. I'm just looking forward to next season. He wraps up the interview talking about his fellow superstar in Joel Embiid. "I talk with Joel frequently, and we have meetings about how we're going to play and what we need to do for our team to win a championship. When you have two of the top players at their positions on the same team, that's a great building block. We're going to grow together and try to lead this team to the top. I believe we can do it together." Again, I'll throw it to you. First and foremost, we're all going to agree with how this makes James Harden look. But just kind of your thoughts on all of his comments, and then also how many guys would legitimately put their money where their mouth is like he's doing, because he had a harsh rep for a little bit of time, I feel like. And I know James Harden has a lot of money. James Harden is going to be good for the rest of his life. You turn down $15 million, even if you have a lot of money. Nobody else does it. Damian Lillard didn't do it. Bradley Beal didn't do it. Nobody's doing it. James Harden's putting his money where his mouth is. What's your perception of this article?
So obviously it tells us everything we all kind of thought was he really does want to win, and he's doing what it takes to win. I think the biggest thing with him is like comfortability. Like he's willing. Do I think he'd be willing to take that kind of cut for not PJ Tucker? I don't know. I think the biggest thing with him is he wants to be comfortable. And the best way to be comfortable is get guys you play with, obviously. He's comfortable around Daryl Morey. He's comfortable around PJ Tucker. He wants to get comfortable around Joel. He's telling me that when he's saying he's talking to him all the time. Working out with Tyrese Maxey, working out with Sam Cassell. Like we all saw that video. So obviously you love everything about that. I don't love if anyone else put up these numbers, we'd be talking about this.
See, that's the comment I want to get to, but
yeah, to me, that comment is like, it's okay. Even though he clearly said it wasn't okay the way he played. He says he wasn't right. But to me, that's like,
it's an excuse. I get it.
Yeah, kind of. It's so tough to gauge the article because, again, those numbers are fine. And your team should be able to contend with him averaging those numbers. Obviously,
22, 7, and 11, yeah.
It needs to be a little bit more efficient than it was when he was here. But, again, he's telling you had to learn on the fly. The whole team had to change 6 different times last year. Joel gets hurt in the first round. Like, nothing went the right way after we got Harden. Like, the team – again, didn't have Ben at the start. Tyrese is so ball dominant. Tobias so ball dominant. Joel's ball dominant. Then James Harden comes, who's talking about usage in the NBA. He's one of the highest of the last 10 years by like a large margin. So you have to then Tyrese plays off the ball more. Tobias turns into kind of the spot-up jump shooter that gets on the ball a little bit, playing more defense. And then Joel obviously has to play next to a coach superstar now than just a young guy and a guy that is Tobias, who wouldn't use the word star, but very good NBA player at least. So everything was changing for everyone so much. And I think that's probably another reason why I bring up that word, like, comfortable. That was probably such a unique position for everyone that they don't want to go through that again. They want to load up, get a core of guys, and this way, hopefully this trade deadline, it's not.
Right, you just need that one.
Yeah, hopefully this trade deadline, it's not like Maxey, Tobias, Phaithful. We'll flip 3 guys, bring 4 more guys in. We'll sign someone
that missing piece, yeah.
Like it shouldn't be like that. These teams that are winning championships aren't like that. They're signing pieces. Obviously, they're trading for maybe a piece here and there at the deadline, but it's not like let's overhaul our whole roster.
Right.
What, 2 months from now, we'll try to finish it.
What you're hoping for is to find the missing piece at the deadline, not rework the puzzle.
Exactly.
And that's what they've done the last couple of years. Well, I mean, 2 years ago when they went out, they didn't do much when you had the George Hill and not Dwight Howard, excuse me, but the George Hill and someone else came at that point, didn't they, or no? No, it's just George Hill. I thought 2 people were introduced, but right. But last year when you bring in Harden, which obviously we all loved and we all wanted, but that really was kind of reworking the puzzle now. And this year, like you said, championship teams, you're not doing that. You're not going out and flipping multiple pieces for a superstar and learning how to replay with this new team. You're taking your core and adding one.
You ever seen like a Rubik's Cube? And when you're really close, everything looks like it's like literally just like one spin away.
Right.
It's literally like how it was with Ben. Like the team looked really good and it looked like it was almost about to work, but it didn't. So you kind of have to flip something. And they flipped it to James Harden, and that's awesome. Right. It took a little bit longer than a lot of us obviously wanted. But now that it's here, again, he's loading up with who he wants, and he's telling you who he wants. Joel's telling you who he wants. Joel's naming guys. Like at that point, it's like your stars are here. They're picking the guys that they want around them. Your coach is probably co-signing on that, I'd assume. Now, obviously, the opinion of who you want to be the coach is for each person, but your coach is obviously signing off that too. Like, this is who's going to be here, it sounds like. Now, maybe things change. Maybe Tobias does end up going somewhere eventually. That's a different story that we'll talk about. But that's not reshaping the roster at that point. Like, the core is here. I think Maxey, Harden, and Joel aren't going anywhere. The offense is really going to revolve around those guys, and bringing guys in, like, let's just name drop somebody absolute random, Harrison Barnes.
Okay.
Doesn't change your roster. Like, James Harden changed your roster. James Harden changes the dynamic of everything. Harrison Barnes doesn't. A guy that's going to dive, make shots. Like, it's not anything crazy. So I think that's really important because, like we talked about, last year was so annoying. You have Ben's coming back. Okay. Not at the beginning of the season. Everyone figure out what you're doing, and then Ben will be back. Everyone figures out what they're doing. Actually, Ben's not coming back. We're training for James Harden. All right, everyone change what you're doing. And then it's like, dude, so many people had to go through so much BS.
100%.
It's pretty nice. I think we're kind of in a great spot right now. Obviously, there's still a couple names out there that Philadelphia's are tied to, but we'll see.
Before we get to one of the names that came up earlier that they can get for very, very cheap, kind of thoughts on the article, thoughts on the quotes, and how, your perception of James Harden and this team is now.
Well, I mean, it's him growing up for sure. He's not out there, "Oh, I don't want to play here anymore." No, he wants to play here and he wants to win here. And that's not something we're used to here. Usually we got guys, they like, "Oh, I'm getting the fuck out of here." But no, they're not
Jimmy.
like that. Yeah, pretty much. But that's I like the maturity he's showing there. It shows that he really wants to win. Um, it's now just up to Daryl and Doc to get them to this point where they can win.
So the comment that interested me the most, like everything else we get and everything else is great. And it's not just, worthless quotes. He's actually doing what he's saying, right? And he's going to take that big pay cut, but everything else is just making him look great, which it does. But the one comment when he talks about what he averaged last year not being right, now it's funny because again, I agree with you. Like, you don't love the first part of the comment because it's like, all right, we're not going to worry about that and what the perception. And also, I don't really listen to what people are saying, but then goes on to talk about what people were saying. So clearly you were listening to what people were saying. My thing is, I really do think it's getting underplayed. And, if we still, people are like, well, we might need one more piece or we might need this or we might need that, right? I think it's being super underplayed what he discussed in that quote. And that is if James Harden was really not okay when he came to Philadelphia last year. If James Harden was going through the hamstring issue throughout the playoffs and throughout the latter part of the season, and he has this offseason to finally, it's his first offseason in 3 years because the Houston offseason he didn't take seriously because he wanted out of Houston and he, looked out of shape or whatever. The offseason before that, for going from Brooklyn to Brooklyn, that was rehabbing. So this is his first offseason. We already see the videos in the sand and doing wind sprints in the sand. We see him working out Tyrese Maxey, Sam Cassell. He looks like he's in great shape. If James Harden, now again, do I think 35 a night James Harden, Houston Rocket James Harden from 2018 is what you're going to get? No, I don't think that's it. Age, the age is still a real thing. But if James Harden is any sort, I know we talked about this a lot in the playoffs, so, if he can get back to that. But what if he does? Not the 36, 37 a night. 28, 27 on efficient shooting, finishing at the rim. What if that's it? Because if James Harden is anything like that, they're not a piece away. They're there if he's James Harden. So that's the one quote that stuck out to me. Like, please be telling the truth that you actually were going through some things with your leg last postseason and get right and be healthy for the love of God, because this team is there now if he's James Harden.
Yeah, I think we all kind of knew, like, whether we want to admit it or not. Now, the severity of it is kind of where it lies. If it was legitimately an issue, like when he did it, when he played in the playoffs in Brooklyn with Kevin Durant, like you could, like this dude was literally hobbling all over the court. But it was just kind of like where they were at. Kyrie was out, obviously. So like he did it, and then he never got better. I don't think. Obviously, it wasn't to the degree of it was in Brooklyn, but I don't think he was ever. And again, he looks right now. He looks good. I think the baseline number, like the number that screams to me, like if you go from like 24 points a game to 26 and 10 dimes to like 11 and a half, even though it's only one assist, but like, and the efficiency is where it really plays a huge thing. If guys are going to be able to make shots, because again, Philadelphia seems like they just never can make shots. Like we talk about, we've never had shooters. Like it feels like, obviously we had Niang last year. Like we have Furkan, but like we have guys that the number says they shoot 37 from beyond, but like they just,
but it doesn't
not feel like that. It's like passes from the most random people are where they're making shots. Like James Harden gets to like 26 and 11 on efficient nights. Like Philly's a top 3 team in the East, and it's not a debate. The roster still, I think, needs a couple improvements, but like Dylan said, you're there. You're competing with everyone. There's no series you go into and be like, we have to play really well and they have to play bad for us to win this series. There's nothing even close to that.
Because it's what we talked about heading in the me and you said it 100 times this past postseason. Again, it was, if he's right, they have 2 of the 3 best players in any series, and you can argue with the wall. They would. He clearly wasn't himself. Now, again, whether that's father time and that's just what it's going to be going forward, or the hamstring and the injury was true. We're going to find out. Like there's not going to be any debating it come late October, November, December. You're going to know which James Harden you're getting for the season in my mind.
Another thing is like the rule change last year. Like when rules change, it takes time to adapt, especially when you predicate not a whole game. We know the story of James Harden getting to the free throw line. Like you figure you can't just alter your game like that to change the rules. It doesn't happen. So hopefully, like a whole year in what was a different year for him, but still was a good year. He wasn't bad. Like no one would describe James Harden's season last year as a bad year. It was just an odd year. And if you look at the last 5 years of James Harden's career, that one's an outlier. So to think he can't get back to that is kind of ignorant. Now, if he doesn't get back to it at this point, that's a 2-year sample back to back.
Right, and you know what it is. That's why I'm saying early of this season, because you got to figure he's going to be right by the start of the season. So if it hits December, late November, and he's still looking like he did in the postseason, we kind of figure
I'll tell you
this is what he is.
If he looks this good, because he looked like body shape, he looks really good. Like you saw the pictures, he looks like he's slimmed down a ton. If the hamstring's still a problem and he looks that good, his medical team has a lot going on, because you shouldn't be putting him through the workouts he clearly has to be doing to look that slim compared to what he did. I think he's good, and I think we're in for a good basketball season.
I'm excited. Dude, I can't listen, we're not talking about the Eagles today. And again, I don't know how you feel about the rest of this roster, but and Kata, but I can't wait for that time of the year. Hey, it's football season being back, and then basketball's right around the corner. That whole time of the year is
we're in like the worst.
My favorite time.
Obviously, the summer, we all
it should be really exciting for Philly sports. Hopefully, knock on wood, if everyone stays healthy, you're going to have hopefully a Phillies postseason, or trying to get to the postseason for the first time in over a decade. This Eagles roster, I couldn't be higher on. I think if the quarterback proves me wrong, if the quarterback shows improvements, this team is a legit team in the NFC. And then obviously you have what the Sixers are going to be doing hopefully this upcoming year. I can't wait. But two last things regarding James Harden, and the one thing Jason commented I want to get to. But I saw a tweet earlier again regarding the injury, and then someone had his hamstring injury, like on the article, and someone had related it to CP3. And I can't remember back to 2019, 2020, around that time, but someone had tweeted basically the timeline, and it was the same injury, the hamstring, and everyone chalked it up now at, that CP3 father time caught up, but then it's 2020 year. And I can't quite remember what he did in OKC in 2020, but was that the year he almost led OKC to the playoffs, or he did, or whatever?
They made the playoffs, yeah.
Right. So someone was basically saying, like, we've seen this before with an older superstar who the same injury, the same timeline. You just have to pray that's what it is, dude. Because
like that OKC roster is like watered down compared to what Philadelphia is.
Right, exactly. But this is the comment I was looking at. Oh, wrong one. This one. I can't. I love the DeAnthony Melton edition. The one thing I'll say is all three guys that they brought in are better than any bench piece they had last season. Like, you now have 6, 7, 8 is now 6, 7, 8. Like, they replace anybody you had on this bench last season. Niang can be number 9, and we'll get this thing rolling. But
let him.
We'll see.
Furkan in the G League.
Furkan can kick rocks.
What are they going to do with Furkan?
I don't know, dude. What are they going to do with Shake?
I guess he's just going to be
Shake. I mean, apparently it's the summer of Isaiah Joe, and everybody's already banging the drum to get him minutes this year. So
I don't see how DeAnthony Melton and Shake Milton can both play in the rotation, and DeAnthony Melton's a way better player than Shake. Tucker's going to take a lot of will probably take all of what Niang's were.
What role do you think DeAnthony Melton's going to serve? I know I assume he's going to play a lot with Maxey and Harden as well. They're going to sort of shuffle that up. But I know, like, when we got here, he's a combo guard that can handle the rock, and everyone's like, oh, he can be that backup point guard off the bench. But I want to say it was Tiago or Krell. Shout out to both of them from TPL. One of them had put up his numbers on ball versus off of ball, and he's a much more efficient player and scorer off the ball.
He's gonna, I think this is all predicated around the dude that's the head coach that we all aren't that big of a fan of, but I don't see there being a ton of time where Maxey and Harden are both off the court for him to be in a primary ball handler role.
Right.
And again, the numbers are
And
there.
if he
He's
has to be for
good
2
off the
minutes,
ball.
he can be.
Yeah, 100%. But the numbers are there. He's good off the ball. And that also plays into when Maxey and Harden would be on the court, that I would really hope Tobias and Joel are probably on the court at the same time. So it's like, how much ball is there to go around? He's going to be really good off the ball. Same thing with Daniel House. Same thing with PJ Tucker. Sixers are legit.
I agree. My last question, and we're going to get into a roster breakdown later in the summer because we really didn't get to talk about all the free agent signings and the Melton trade too much so far. We'll see what else Daryl does in the coming weeks and months. But my last question on this lineup would be, I know a lot of projections are having PJ Tucker start. I want him gone, but Matisse Thybulle would probably be starting if it were me. It would be Harden, Maxey, Tease, Toby.
These were the best starting five in the
Embiid.
NBA last year with Maxey, Harden, Thybulle, Tobias, and Joel.
Yeah.
And again, we all agree the shortcomings of Thybulle is not okay on the offensive end. And there's times where he is unplayable, but he was above league average from the corners last year. He's not. If Thybulle's here, he's gonna be in the starting lineup. I don't see them wheeling out Tucker and Tobias.
Right.
Bring Thybulle off the bench.
Right.
Thybulle.
And then that weakens your bench as well. Like that.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to have. We've talked about this before. Thybulle in the starting lineup to me makes the most sense because you need scoring off your bench. That's something they lack desperately. You don't need him to really score in the starting lineup unless he's wide open from the corner of the wing to make that open three.
You miss a layup.
And he brings that energy and defense in the starting lineup.
That's
why I would start him. Yeah, dude. I still kind of hope. I don't know. I still kind of need Tease to be gone just for.
Yeah, I'm just ready to flip that
personal
page.
reasons.
It's the three. This is the three players that need to be flipped for us to be in a next chapter. Thybulle, Furkan, and Shake are the three guys that have consistently not been good that are just still here. But
it's just going to be very refreshing to get to a new Sixer season where the bench isn't the same bench. It's been the same story every postseason where we sit here and we talk ourselves into if Shake can be that guy. We saw it in Atlanta. If Furk can hit shots, blah, blah, blah. You don't have that problem anymore. Thank God.
Thybulle stopped Steph once.
Right. We'll get to it, but and yeah, Joel Embiid's having himself a hell of an offseason.
Dude, that was so weird.
Dude, but
I feel like there's a weird Embiid dancing video every offseason.
Yeah. Dude, he was there and he was at Ruben's part, the party with all of them. And I just I know it's only 2 times and it's an entire summer. And good for him. I'm glad he's doing it. But I just remember anytime I see a video of him out, I'm assuming he's drinking, maybe not. But I just remember him. He's still only Shirley Temples because that's the thing I remember. He just likes to be in, plays video games, family man, blah blah. And now I'm seeing this dude. If that's him sober, he's a fun dude to be
I'm pretty
around.
sure he doesn't drink. I could be wrong. He probably has.
No, I feel like you're right, but
he plays in Philadelphia. He probably has to.
Right. He goes and opens a bottle every night after a bad game. Turns on NBC Sports Philadelphia. All right, guys. That's going to wrap up this Monday edition of the Phaithful Phanatics Show. As always, the rest of the summer, we will be streaming to you guys live right here on DSM Media Mondays at 5 p.m.
We promise.
We promise. And throughout the week, I'll have a little bit more of a newer setup coming. My guy, George Ryder, and myself and whoever else, Gint, Kata, wants to join throughout the week. We'll be doing some smaller episodes and shorter episodes and stuff like that. So that's going to do it for this one. Have a great night, everybody, and enjoy the Derby.